right, welcome to Morning Mobility. We'll go ahead and get started. We're going to do a little seated double pigeon here. So we're going to stack one foot on top of the other. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Should feel this through your hip, through your glute. Not sure how your weekend was. I hope it was great. If you did any activity, we'll work to get you ready for the week. So kind of just taking the first little bit again, just to kind of align your posture, thinking about sitting up nice and tall, top the head to the ceiling. And if you'd like to, you can do a slight lean forward, kind of deepen the stretch in that hip. So we'll focus on the hips a bit to start here, and then we'll work through some shoulder mobility, some of that upper back. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side, the other leg. Just kind of a good analysis position. Just checking in with that body, see where you're holding any tension. Again, if you want to take a slight lean here, you can. Remember this position of your shoulders and your scapula. Just remember sitting up nice and tall, good proud chest. That's how you're going to want to sit for the rest of the day. All right, we're going to try to avoid that hunched over posture today. Today's the day. We can do it. All right. I'm going to rotate this out to a nice 90-90 stretch. We're just going to progressively work our way down. So knees and ankles all 90 degrees. We're going to take a nice hinge over that front knee. Again, just to deepen that stretch in those hips, those glutes. Certainly holding a lot of tension for me. You notice that back nice and straight, where I'm not curling down, reaching my chest towards my knee, reaching my chest out away from, or out over my knee. We're going to hop up out of that, rotate to the other side, same 90-90 position. Again, just still kind of analyzing, getting some awareness, checking in with our body. See where we're feeling some tension, some tightness. We're going to go back to the other side. And this back leg, we're just going to slide out a little bit farther. We're going to move into a pigeon pose for that single leg. You can stay up tall here if you need to. If you need a little extra on it, you can drop down to those elbows. We're just going to hang out here for a little bit. Usually I like to start with some longer passive stretching. Kind of let the body wake up a little bit, you know. So you don't necessarily want to be comfortable. You should get in a position that you can certainly hold it, but if you're too comfortable and you're not really getting anything out of the stretch, maybe some adjustments need to be made. All right, reaching that back foot a little bit farther backwards, or bringing that chest down towards the ground a little bit more. Just to feel that stretch, get something out of it. Right here, about 20 more seconds. Go ahead and bring that up We're just going to kind of rotate that foot out into runner's lunge. So a little bit different, a little different pull on the hips there. You're going to try to push that front knee out away from you, kind of opening up that space in that hip of that front leg. And that back leg, driving that heel away, thinking about lifting that knee up off the ground. Good stretch through that front hip flexor. May or may not be a little tight. Then we're going to work to extend that front leg into a nice little triangle pose here. So feeling the stretch to the hamstring of that front leg. We're going to hit all the big parts here, glutes, hips, and hamstrings. Maybe we can't make it all the way down to the ground. Maybe we need to hang out on the knee. That's fine as well. Just looking to try to get this knee as relatively as straight as possible. Put my hands down for a little more stability. And where we're going to go from that, we're going to turn that back foot about 90 degrees. We're going to try to reach for that heel and open up through that chest, reaching to the sky. Big triangle pose. I'll bring that back down. We're just going to kind of make our way back down, going back to that runner's lunge. And we're going to drop that foot back down into that pigeon. So we're going to kind of hold here, reset in this pigeon for a second, and then we're going to go through that whole thing one more time. And then we'll switch sides. Alright, let's go ahead and bring that front foot back into that runner's lunge. And reaching that back heel, lift that knee up off the ground, really extend that back leg. Hips are kind of reaching down towards the ground. Feel that through that hip flexor. We're going to extend that front leg, get our hamstring stretch. Hold this for a little bit. And we'll turn that back foot. We'll go for that that reach with that opposing hand. Again, if you can't quite get to the ground, we can go to the knee. Slight bend at the knee is fine there. Looking through the fingertips of that top hand, actively reaching for the ceiling. We'll bring that back down. We're just going to switch to the other side here. Dropping to a pigeon on that side. We'll kind of restart that whole thing on your other leg. Hopefully this side feels a little bit different, noticeably different. We'll work to loosen that up over the next couple minutes. You're going to deepen this hip stretch in this pigeon by dropping down to those elbows, reaching that chest down towards the ground. And we'll kind of start out here a little bit longer, this first one. Go ahead and bring that up. We'll go runner's lunge on that side. What kind of emphasis is in that back leg, pushing that heel away, thinking about lifting that knee up off the ground. Hold strong in that position. Work to extend that front leg, get that hamstring going. A little bit tighter on this side, can't quite reach the ground. So I'm going to hang out a little higher. And while you're in this position, kind of really think about pushing that foot into the ground and that hip away, thinking about really elongating that whole leg. And we'll turn that back foot. We'll start that reach up towards the sky. Trying to get both legs as extended as you can. Doesn't have to be perfectly extended, but doing your best. I'm going to reach that back down. Kind of reset. Now flow back through these. We'll drop it back down to that pigeon. Hold again, just not quite as long this round. Just get a little more dynamic flow here. Go ahead and bring that up to a runner's lunge. Now we'll turn that back foot, extending that front leg. And reach up. We'll sweep that back down. We'll just go ahead and bring that back to our knees. We'll push back into a nice little child's pose. Reaching those arms as far forward as we can. We'll take that right hand, we're going to thread that underneath the left. Still sitting back. Feel a nice little stretch through the back of the shoulder of that right arm. And pull that out. Again, reaching both hands forward. And we'll take that left hand, reaching through. Pull that out. Once more, reaching both arms forward. Bring it up to all fours. We're going to extend that left leg right out to the side. And we're going to once more push back into kind of a half child's pose. If you have the mobility to get all the way down, sure to go for it. And again, we're going to kind of thread that needle. So we're going to take that arm or that hand reaching underneath the arm towards that foot that's extended. And we're going to take that open hand, reach that back towards the sky. that down. Pull out of that. We'll do the same thing on the other side. We're going to reach that right leg out there, sitting back. And take that left hand to the right leg, or as close to it as you can manage. And we'll reach that other arm up to the sky. Slowly release out of that. I'm going to come to kneeling position. If you want to hang out in a saddle position, you can, or work some of that upper body mobility here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those arms just like this, 90 degrees, upper arm parallel to the ground. And we're going to work to rotate from palms facing backwards all the way around to palms facing forward. And then we're going to press those arms up overhead, nicely and slowly till they're fully extended, and just kind of reverse. So pull that back down. Think about squeezing those shoulder blades together like you do in a pull-up. And we'll rotate those all the way back around to down. You should feel it stretching out through those shoulders. We're going to do a few times around here. This tempo that I'm moving, I'm try to keep it very, very slow, very controlled. Find where those limitations are. Big squeeze through those shoulder blades. We're looking to command that upper back. Two more here. So if you've ever done wall drills or leaning back against the wall, the same kind of concept here. Think about that, your upper back, lower back, head all against the wall, kind of pushing your wrist into the wall, back of the arm, elbow, kind of rotating at the elbow, trying to bring those palms to the wall. We'll go one last time, reversing back, and just sliding those wrists against the wall, all the way up. Big squeeze at the top, and once more, pulling down, and rotating down, and relax. Alright, while we're down in this kneeling position, we're going to get up to our half kneel. Whatever knee is down, we're going to reach that arm towards the ground. Could be in line with your foot, that's fine. This is what we call a half kneeling windmill. So I have my right hand down, my other hand, I'm going to work to rotate and reach that up towards the sky. Good bit of rotation here. And just to work to unload that low back. I'm sure you do a couple reps on this one. Starting with kind of both hands down on the ground is fine. Pulling that arm up, reaching for that sky. You should feel some kind of balancing going on through those hips, working in a little bit different manner. We're just going to do 3 on that side. We'll switch our legs. Kind of get comfortable in this half kneeling position first. Should feel kind of, it's like a half runner's lunge really. So feel that hip adjust as needed. And I'll start that rotation on that other side. Kind of actively pushing that down hand into the ground, actively reaching that top hand into the ceiling. And slow controlled movements, looking to master every piece of it. Trying to really open yourself up emotionally. Just kidding. Just open that chest up as much as you can. Rotate through that whole middle back. Bring that back down. And we'll bring that back together. That's going to do it for time for us this morning for some mobility. I hope you are feeling a little bit loose, ready to take on the day, maybe ready to take on some combine challenge. Thank you all for joining me. We'll be back this afternoon for some lunchtime action. Otherwise, Have a great day.